If you're frustrated with the dating apps, but they feel like your only option, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to teach you how to get better matches through a dating app. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get clear on our ideal partner. And we'll talk about that in another video. So when we're using the dating apps, step number one is choosing the right app. It's not as simple as downloading Grindr to see what's out there. The problem with dating is your dating pool is too big. Your dating pool is too big. The dating pool is too random. And so when we use a dating app, it pulls from the general population. But your ideal partner is not the general population. So we have to be very intentional with the way we approach dating online. So again, step number one is choosing the right app. I recommend Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder hit or miss. I do have some clients who try Facebook dating, but I don't have enough data on that. So if I was you, I would recommend probably starting with Bumble because Hinge is great, but it's a little bit slow. So maybe start with Bumble or start with Hinge or start with both. But that's the first thing. If you are feeling frustrated with gay dating, you've never been in a real relationship, your self-esteem is a bit low, I do not recommend the gay dating apps, specifically Grindr, Scruff, Archer, all of those. There's data out there that shows that Grindr I don't want to misquote it, but basically, Grindr users didn't feel great after using Grindr. There is data that shows that, and I feel like we don't even need data to prove that, but there is data out there. So let's avoid those apps and let's just use these other apps that I'm going to recommend. Okay, step number two is we want to set up your profile in a way that it attracts your ideal partner. So we want to optimize your profile. When we say optimize, we're not talking about optimizing for the algorithm. I don't care about the algorithm. We're talking about attracting your ideal partner. So we want to use nice photos, specifically what's called a hero shot. A hero shot is a picture of just you. It's not a selfie and it has a nice background. So let me rephrase that. A hero shot is just you in clothes that you feel confident in, candid. Maybe you're even looking slightly away from the camera, and it's a nice background. That is a hero shot. It's not a selfie. We call them hero shots because think of you are the hero in your movie, right? So when we are watching a movie like Harry Potter or whatever movie we're watching, the hero is never really looking at the camera, but they're always candid. They're either like thinking about the decision they have to make, they're writing, they're reading, they're never just like, you know, and a lot of us do that with our cat in the background or the mirror or whatever. So we want to move away from that. I want you to seriously put in effort into your photos. It makes a huge difference because people will swipe more on you, and then also they will take it a lot further with you. So if somebody messages me I'm not single now, but if somebody messaged me on a dating app and they didn't have the best photos, like it was them laying in bed in a wife beater tank top and just selfies, like that signals a lot, not a lot of effort versus somebody shows up, they're in a suit in one picture, they're petting a dog in the next picture, they're swimming the ocean in a different one. Who do you think I'm going to feel more inclined to go on a date with if I only had one option? The guy with the better photos. Cool. All right. So now number two is we want to use relevant details only. On the dating app, you don't need to put that you have your COVID vaccine. Everything that we use on a dating app is designed to create attraction or call out your ideal partner. Saying I have a COVID vaccine doesn't do that. So we want to ignore the irrelevant details. I do want you to put what you're looking for. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, put that. Don't put open to short if you prefer a long-term relationship. And then make sure you put monogamy, or if that is yours, don't put like monogamy and then comma open and then comma like, no, just very simple. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm looking for monogamy. On Hinge, you don't need to write extra subtitles. Just put those options. Number three is we want our prompts to call out our ideal partner. This is a marketing principle. If you go on my Instagram and you just kind of scroll through my post, almost every post will say something like, are you an established professional who's frustrated with dating? Established professional question mark, frustrated with dating question mark. That is me calling out my ideal client. I work with men who want long-term relationships and they're frustrated with dating. But the types of guys I work with, they're not 20-year-olds who work at Starbucks. Nothing wrong with that. I used to work at Starbucks in my 20s, but the guys I work with are established professionals. So I'm calling them out. We can use that same principle in dating. So you have a specific kind of guy that you want to date, right? And we want to call him out with our prompts. So prompts you can use are those that are swipe right if blank. We'll get along well if blank. I find it, I forget what the wording is, but it's something like it's super hot when blank. And then insert your ideal partner's qualities. So swipe right if you're kind, open-minded, and driven, for example, making that up. Do that with your prompts. So that's how we set up the profile. That's now optimized. Okay, cool. Now you're going to get matches. Make sure that, hold on, let me think for a minute. Uh, Actually, let me grab one sip of water. Sorry, my mouth was getting dry. My mouth was getting dry. Okay, so then I want you to swipe every single day for 15 minutes. I don't want you to be on your phone in the middle of the night, 10 p.m., 12 p.m., swiping on Grindr and all that. Those days are gone. Now you are going to sit on your couch every day for 15 minutes after work, after dinner, and you're just going to swipe. You're going to go on Hinge. You're going to send out your likes. You're going to go on Bumble. You're going to send out your likes. You're also going to respond to your matches. And if you match with someone, I actually want you to message first. I don't want you to wait and see if they message you, message them first. If they don't respond over, let's say, a day or two, you can unmatch. I want your pipeline, your matches to be a very clean pipeline. Sometimes I see my clients' dating apps and they have like 40 matches, 70 matches. That's insane. That's insane. We want it to be a very clean, active pipeline of guys, of quality leads. That's how we're going to treat this. Okay, so I want you to message all of your matches and respond to all of your matches. And I'm just going to share my screen. So this is an online portal that my clients get. But if you see here, it says the chatting framework. This is the chatting framework that I want you to use when you have matches. So the first thing I want you to do is just send them a very simple opener. You don't have to overthink it. It can be as simple as, "Hey Matt, how's your week been so far?" Smiley face. It doesn't need to be elaborate. And you can also, for Hinge and things like that, you can comment on their pictures and stuff. That's also fine. Okay, so then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to have a little bit of back and forth. I want you to create a little bit of rapport. I want you to create some interest and some initial attraction. I want there to be something there, some flavor. And the way you can do this is you can comment on his profile. If there's a picture of him water skiing or snowboarding or playing tennis or walking his dog, I want you to comment on that, try to relate to that, ask questions about it, so on and so forth. The second thing is I want you to lean into your personality because your personality is composed of qualities, and some of those qualities actually create attraction. So if you are playful, if you are kind, if you are deep, all of those things are making these are examples of attractor factors, and attractor factors create attraction. So lean into your personality. You can be bold in dating. I would recommend that, to be honest. And uh, and then we want to avoid customer service language. So a lot of guys, when we're messaging, will say something like, how's your week been? Or no, they'll say, no, that's an opener that I want you to use. They'll say like, how's work going? Good. How's work for you? Good, handsome. How about you? Good, 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 handsome, blah, blah, blah. And then nothing. It's too boring. We don't want that logical, what do you do for work? You can answer that, but like be playful. It's like, what do I do for work? Who wants to know? Winky face, ha ha ha, and then answer it, right? Be playful with it. So anyway, I want you to create a little bit of rapport, a little bit of interest back and forth. Then I want you to segue into, so what do you like to do for fun? This is the key question that's going to help you get a date essentially. So, what do you like to do for fun? He's going to say, I like to go hiking, I like to grab drinks, whatever, blah, blah, blah. How about you? This is where you can say, "Oh, you tell him what you like to do, and you're probably going to have some similarities. And you can say, "Oh, we should totally grab a drink sometime. Would you be down?" Or whatever you want to say, right? You're suggesting hanging out and you're gauging his interests. He's either going to say, "Yeah, we totally should. When are you free?" Or he's going to be like, "Ha ha ha, sure, sometime we can." Or he's just going to not reply and ghost. And so if he gives you like a half-ass answer, I probably wouldn't do much with that. But if he says, yeah, let's hang out, then you can either set the date, the details then and there, or you can do it a different time. But this is how I want you to get a date. This framework is proven. You don't have to follow it per exactly, by T or whatever that saying is. But I probably would, honestly. Like, send him a message, create some attraction, create some rapport, ask for his interests and hobbies, suggest hanging out, get a date. Don't message someone for weeks on end and calling each other baby and handsome and sexy without even meeting, because the date is where you're going to be able to create initial attraction and then also vet them and see what they're like in person. So if you follow what we talked about in today's video, this is going to help you get better dates. If you want help with this, I want you to click the link below to book a free call with me. And then you can even get a copy of this script by clicking one of the links below as well. So I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you soon.